business for a few years, and I did a presentation at the 1 Million Cups in St. Paul. And I wasn't as prepared, and my business model has changed, so I'm going to offer you a different insight into my product. First, I'm going to start, though, with just a little bit of a story about my background. It's a very interesting story. I have my master's degree in organizational management, a Six Sigma black belt in Lean and Six Sigma, and I had a great career going, working at US Bank. Was very happy and found out I have rheumatoid arthritis. I was still able to keep working, but it was affecting my neck. And that affected your shoulders, your hands, your spine, getting on a computer. So I went to the doctor and found out, sure enough, it's affecting the spine, and I had 4 levels that were growing over the spinal column, and no fluid was going through it, a couple of levels. So went in and had a surgery called a laminoplasty, where they basically pick open the bone around your spine and plate it. 6 screws in each plate, and I had that on 4 levels. Good news is it worked like a charm. Went back to work, things were going great. 6 months and 4 days after that surgery, we were in a head-on car accident. Both cars doing 55 miles an hour. We rolled twice. All of us walked out. 1 screw popped loose, so I really do have a screw loose. But that surgery saved my life. Had I had that accident a month sooner, those plates wouldn't have fused properly. I'd have spinal cord damage. Sooner than that, I would be dead. So for some reason, I don't know why, went back to work and things were okay, but gradually it aggravated the disease, which is rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disease. So it really begins to break down your whole body. I ended up having multiple surgeries. Employers do not like you missing a lot of work for surgery. And then finding out that you have an autoimmune disease. And they strongly encouraged me to take long-term disability. I did go out on long-term disability, but in that process, of course, the insurance company denies it, right? So I'm sitting there with mounting medical bills and no income coming in. Then my husband loses his job. And to add to that, a girlfriend, her roommate sold the house and moved down here to Mankato, and she needed a place to go, and she's battling cancer. And we had room in our house. We made room for her in our basement. And my son was going through treatment at Hazelden. Everything came crashing in at once. And I have a very strong faith, but I tell you, I was numb. I just didn't know what to do with myself anymore. So I'd gone to Cheers Pablo, which is a paint and sip wine kind of thing, and I decided I need to do that again. And nobody would go, so I started doing it at home, and I saw these beautiful flower bouquets as an example, and just started mimicking them. And I felt something when I spread that paint on the canvas. And then I began to paint more and more, and they're stacking up in my house. And when people come over and they appreciate them, I said, hey, which one do you want? And of course, I knew they're a little on the bright side. This is sort of the type of painting I do. Just don't, throw it out, and don't stick it in the basement. Just find somebody else and pass it along. And the idea came to me, why not create a work of art that is meant to pass along? And then on the back, you record who you give it to, when and why. And then just keep passing it along and following the journey. And that's where I've sort of come to this idea of my gift and my product. I have set myself up as a social enterprise. It's a little different. I am looking for, I'm looking for socially conscious consumers and that want to look at today's trends, which are being more aware of giving back to the community, telling stories, being authentic, recycle, reuse. How do we do all of that and tell something meaningful? So that's what I'm trying to do. Let me see if this works. Yes. So what I have done is I've gone beyond what I currently did with just my bouquet paintings, and I've changed it to gifts. And I have a variety of images that I work with, inspirational quotes, but the point of it is to enjoy it for a while, then pass it along. Cheers, Mom. On the back, you can record who, when, and why you're giving it. There's an online tracking feature for everybody to follow along, and 50% of my profits go to charity. For myself, I've selected Feed My Starving Children because it builds a larger community, but I also will tell you about custom orders in a minute. My website is PassAlongGifts.com. This is driving individual consumer sales, which, that's what I had done for the last several years. Those onesie-twosies weren't really making it with social media and whatnot. It's hard to sell and make any money. And this is how you track it online, just to give you a visual. You go to the track tab, and then you can follow along, and then you see everybody's notes as the gift passes along. The point of my gift is I did end up getting the disability. Everything did end up turning out okay. We are just fine. My friend is alive. Everything's worked out fine. Even my son is doing pretty good. So life ended up working out okay, but we were really humbled. And I realized I don't need that much, and I really need a sense of purpose. When you have to redefine who you are, I was given gifts. I need to use those. And I believe that this product is something for spreading kindness and unleashing the power of giving. Because what I really learned is when I used my talents and then gave of myself to others, that was when the magic happens. And so that's what I'm about. I've gone now to custom designs. So I've gone away from just my free bouquets, which, by the way, I'll show you later, I hide the word joy in all of my paintings because joy was always there. I just couldn't see it. Sometimes you have to look for it. And so that's my personal message. But with custom designs, I go to a whole bunch of different ideas. I let you choose from any kind of image that we have on file. I've made them in some smaller versions that stand on a table. We all know a picture is worth 1,000 words. So you can choose from our stock, or you can do something on your own, create custom design. On the back, we allow you to put your logo there. On the top, your contact information. Just forgot to do that. And then you can also put down the charity that you'd like to support if you don't choose to support Feed My Starving Children, you want something else. The real estate agent I worked with, they had a foundation. They wanted to support that, so terrific. And then in that first section, you can start out with an inspiration that can be pre-printed. So you can put something down about, I did one for a customer appreciation event, and I did a quote from Gandhi. The true way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. And it was sponsored by, Dakota County Eye Care. And then they could send them out to individuals with that specific message handwritten in, then you pass them along to people. And the final thing is that it reaches circles of people beyond your circle of influence. You start here, and you know these people, but you don't know where it's going to go. And for many businesses, for every business, that is a super powerful opportunity because you are reaching other people's circles of influence. You have no idea where this will go, and it's going places you couldn't go. It's representing you with your logo, with your website, with your charity, and with your vision statement of some sort of vision of what you stand for. And you need to design the front so that it's not just a shameless plug for you, but that's the point. It's a very powerful tool to answer all of the kind of socially compelling things that customers today are looking for. So, in summary, we are trying to create a new movement in giving. We support great causes. It is meant to enjoy anywhere. It's given over and over. It's encouraging people to do acts of kindness and pay it forward. Everybody can follow the journey. And it's recycled by regifting. I've gone to some other designs. I do them in table tents like this that are small. I have some samples that I can show you later for the different holidays, but I've also found, look how beautiful these metal prints turn out. And then on the back, you can put your logo, everything. This was done for a RE/MAX agent. And it starts out with his vision and why he sponsored it. And then he will handwrite in when he gives this to his customer, thanking them for using it and welcome to your new home kind of thing. Or whatever he chooses to do with it. But how beautiful those are to stand. And I can do those in the 8x10 or a smaller 5x7 that kind of fits on a desktop. Here we go. So, bottom line is, when you start your PassAlong gift, where will it go? That's my question, Dawn. And that's the end of my basic presentation.
Cheryl, thank you so much.